Alicia, by the way, is an author, political strategist, and organizer who founded the Black Futures Lab to make Black communities powerful in politics. She's also the co-creator of hashtag Black Lives Matter and the Black Lives Matter Global Network, co-founder of Supermajority, a new home for women's activism, and strategy and partnerships director for the National Domestic Workers United Workers Alliance. And of course, if you guys don't have her book, The Purpose of Power, How We Come Together When We Fall Apart, you should get it, read it, and listen to her podcast, Lady Don't Take No. She's so booked and busy. Please welcome Alicia Garza to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Yo, what up?
So good to have you here.
What is the purpose of power? Is it to get up like a parking place? What is the purpose?
NATO is going full throttle very, very quickly.
This is how we're starting things. This is good. Well, first of all, it's good to be here with y'all. Second of all, what the fuck is going on with Lori Lightfoot? Third of all, the purpose of power is to get rid of fucking people like that and put people in positions of decision making that will move our collective agenda forward. That's the only way that we're able to do it. And if we don't build the power we need, we're going to keep going around in these fucking circles, stressed out about people making not only bad decisions, but also having bad plans that are not just annoying, but they're actually deadly. So that's the purpose.
I like it. I do. I mean, yeah, it is. It's the idea that like we have to pay attention. Who the hell is representing us? Who's running us? Who's on the school board meetings? How the fuck are there Proud Boys in these meetings and no one's saying shit? You know, and like they're in cahoots with law enforcement. I do. You know, it's a year after January 6th, Alicia, and I just want your thoughts on, you know, what have we learned anything? Where do we go from here? And maybe just like general reflections on this 1 year anniversary, shitversary.
Well, what do you get one for this anniversary, right? Like if your first wedding anniversary, you're supposed to get like paper, you know, your 15th, you're supposed to get like diamonds. Like, what do you get for this, right? Like, what do you get when you give? I mean, look, it's bizarre that we are a year out and, you know, honestly, there's been very little consequences for insurrectionists who literally tried to overthrow the government through a violent coup. This, of course, came on the heels of an incredible victory in Georgia, where we, you know, pushed forward the first Black person to represent Georgia in the Senate since Reconstruction, and also put forward two very progressive lawmakers and legislators. So, you know, the insurrection, as if you will, was really a reaction and a response to the power that was being wielded by the majority in this country to try to put us on a different path and move us in a different direction. And I think in a lot of ways that gets lost, especially in the kind of pomp and circumstance of half-ass remembering, right, what happened and how we got there. And, you know, I was reflecting the other day that, you know, and this came up again for me, actually, when you were talking about this protest law in Florida, you know, where somebody's getting 3 years in prison for posting something on social media. And meanwhile, people who, you know, broke into Nancy Pelosi's office, sat in her chair, kicked back, put their feet up and stole some shit from her office and then did TV interviews about it, right? Face zero consequences. I mean, there are Black people in jail for weed that have spent longer in jail than any of these insurrectionists will, almost collectively, right? Yeah. So that's something for us to really pay attention to. And at the same time, I think that we have to keep paying attention to the way in which amnesia powers this country. If we're really good about sinking into the whys of how we got here and taking the lessons and integrating them, we'd be living in a completely different country right now. And we don't do that, and we don't do it on purpose. So I think it's important for us not just to kind of look back, but to stand still and say, hey, what the fuck just happened here? And why did it happen? We don't talk about the fact, and we've actually not had any more conversation about those pipe bombs that were found
Yes.
at the DNC, right? Like that was also a violent attack, most likely, right, by the growing extremist conservative movement in this country. So as long as we don't talk about it, as long as there are no consequences for people's actions, as long as we're focused on pomp, circumstance, procedure, and bureaucracy as opposed to outcomes, we're going to continue to see these kinds of attacks happen. And I can tell you, Francesca and NATO, because the infrastructure has been weakened so much by the former president, right, but also by just complete idiocy, it's likely that there will be more of these attacks, and it's likely that they will hurt more and more people. And so this is something for us to really pay attention to going into 2022, but certainly going into 2024, where we have another rematch as it relates to the President of the United States.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.